even hit a dollar one day on a real quick thing, but the contract did not exercise. The person did not say, I want to do this at a dollar. I guess they were waiting until it went lower. The moment it breaches a dollar, maybe it would have exercised the contract. I'd have been fine for that because it would have unlocked my collateral. I would have kept my $10 premium that I charged, because when I made that order, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I was looking at calls and puts at the same time, and I did a $10 premium to sell one contract at $100. So you got to be able to back this whole thing up. So a dollar times 100 obviously is $100. So that one contract didn't cost me $100. It's just holding my $100 plus my $10 premium. So now I'm going to walk away in another month from now. I'm going to walk away with $110. Now that's protecting my money, because in the event it goes down, I get my money back and I turn around and sell it. It's not that difficult. But this is how a lot of people, you'll see ridiculous, constructs of money, how to make $1,600 a month, how to make $500 a month, or, on autopilot and all this crap. And I'm saying that because it's a joke. Because if you're rich, that's not an issue. You can put up $100,000 to sell a put to somebody protecting $100,000 or $300,000. That's fine. You have money to do that. But for people with little accounts, to me, it's disrespectful. The market doesn't care. But people in general that are trying to sell people training or this, or hey, make money like me, just buy my, my training program for $500 a month or some crazy ridiculous crap like that. And most people aren't going to pay that unless they're very confident they're going to make some money, or they just got swindled in their mind and their subconscious like, hey, I'll do this and I'll make a lot of money. But in reality, when they just spent $10,000 or $15,000 on something that didn't really give them the tools that they need to do this, that's an issue to me. Subconsciously, mentally, realistically, all these different things together. Because when I think about it, the more and more, that's why I want to start teaching this stuff in a very low cost, by the way. If you're not in local Georgia, to me, within the southern Atlanta area, that is where I am willing to meet you at a coffee shop or something in public, obviously not at your house, not at my house, in a public place. If you have a laptop, that'd be nice for you to bring it. They have Wi-Fi, we can get on there, and I can show you something on mine, and you can do it or replicate on yours as far as training materials go, etc. Email you things, make sure you get it. And then a couple weeks worth of back and forth, emails, texts, things like that. Phone calls, not so much. I love voicemails because I can actually know who called me. Get a lot of marketing and stupid sales calls that I literally, if I don't recognize the number, I don't even answer the phone. So if you do not text me or leave me a voicemail, I'm not going to get back to you, just FYI. My trading materials and things like that, and worksheets and stuff I'll have, and my kind of put together trading platform, because you see how kind of, not trading platform, training platform, you'll see that this seems kind of sloppy to some people, and they're like, oh man, this guy's just writing a bunch of crap, he's saying too much stuff, etc., etc. But what the reality of that is that I have a lot of information in my head. I do talk a lot, I do talk fast, and I'm always wanting to tell somebody something or help somebody with something. Some people are just very hard-headed. They don't want to hear it. They don't think they can do what you're doing, or you're not talking right, and you're not telling them exactly what they want to hear. Now, the problem with that is I like to be slightly realistic, but as Will Smith said, Confucius said, it is the person that says they can and the person that says they can't are usually both right. And that being said, if you're always talking, man, I'll never make $1 million. I'll never make, man, it's so much money. Well, if you break it down into simple terms, Grant Cardone does it the best. He breaks down a chart. He shows you if you do this with this amount of money with this many people, you can make $1 million. If you do this, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a great platform overall to understand that if you can just start multiplying your money, even at a small rate, say turn $1 into $10, or $10 times 10 is $100, and so on and so forth. If you can get that even consistently to make a 10 or 20% return, that's why I like options contracts, because you have the options in your favor, pun intended, that you can turn around and buy, say, a forward contract for a penny or 2 cents per contract, slightly higher than the strike price, but it's cheap. Now, cheap options have more risk. The closer you are in the money, which means in the green or right at it, that's where you're going to be most profitable consistently, because you're not so far away. Now, granted, if you buy a cheap option at a penny or 2 penny per contract, or 10, whatever, and it's going to cost you that, say you get a penny, so $1 contract times 10, so 10 contracts cost you $10, but say that turn around and goes up to 2 cents per contract, you literally just doubled your money if you can sell those contracts. Now, if you can sell, that's a key word because you want something volatile. I also traded a call option on FSale, $3. I had 4 months. It never touched $3, and it was all the way at $1.79. I got it super cheap. It went all the way to $2.78, and my premium went up high. It was extremely high. It went to it was ridiculous. It showed this big old needle on my account, and it was like $1,600 up here, and I'm like, how did I miss that? So I paid attention to it, and I watched it. Next time it happened, the phone was in my hand, and I tried to sell these, and it happened so fast I couldn't. I didn't have limit order set or anything to unload these. Even if I sold it at, I think I got them really cheap. It was like a penny or 2 pennies per contract, and I had like 40. And if I had just sold them at 3 or 4 cents, now you couldn't. You had to sell them in increments of 5. It's Robinhood, so it was something they were doing for that specific contract price, and it had to be in that range. See, where Ford, their contracts can go slightly different. It is anything over $3 a share does not apply under that rule in the 5% increments. So Ford, I was able to get rid of at 18 cents. I was able to get rid of it at what was the other one? It was like 21.5. So 0.215. And those things can happen, but with other contracts, it's not possible. So with this, I only lost $40. What a big deal. Some people that sucks, but at the same time, when I did this other version, selling a put on a stock someone's already holding, I'm not worried about the stock going up or down. Ultimately, if it goes down, it gets exercised, whatever. I already lost $40 before calling a put. Making a call option, thinking that it's going to go up, which it did. I was absolutely right. The stock went up. It just didn't go high enough. And on expiration, it expired worth 0. Big old egg. Nothing. So I've been running on for 40 minutes now. I can't believe it's been that long. But there's a lot of information in the video. Please watch the video. Send me questions. I'll put the Robinhood link below. You get a free stock for signing up. If you don't already have Robinhood, if you do already have Robinhood, apply for options contracts. This is part of my training that I will offer you. I will show you how to get an options account. You can do Robinhood Gold and get margin if you want, but you're not going to be able to get approved for specific options trades if you do not do it correctly. Same thing with TD Ameritrade, same thing with Fidelity, etc., etc. So on and so forth. Show you how to make these accounts and etc. My training materials themselves will be available November 2018, which is just 2 months from now. So it's going to cost $70 just for the materials. If you do live, like I said a while ago, in the southern region, Level Brands just went to $325. I'm waiting on it to go to $315. I'll buy it up. Limit orders in. We'll talk about the difference between limit orders, market orders in another video. If you don't already know what it is. I want to introduce you to trading. I want to introduce you to options. I want to show you and explain to you in the most simple terms. If you don't understand, you can simply ask me. Say, hey, Andy, I didn't really catch that last part. I didn't really understand how it works. How does that work? So the southern Atlanta area, Peachtree City, Noonan, that kind of areas. What else is close? Sonoya, things like that. Meet at a coffee shop, Starbucks, something like that. That's where we can go. So for those personal classes, you can get a 1-hour session with the trading materials starting in November. Like I said, it's only going to be $180, I believe. So I want to put that right there. And for the 2-hour session is the only other thing I offer right now. And again, this is for the 2 weeks back and forth, messaging, emails, things like that, so you can better understand what you're looking at and what you're trying to learn. And $180 for the 1 hour, and 2 hour is going to cost you $250. Now, this is a one-time, $250, 2 weeks. I haven't yet developed anything for a long-term videos and things like that. I got to get more consistent with my availability to do these things. But what I'm trying to do here is, yes, I'm trying to make a little bit of money on the side by teaching, because if you're good at something, you don't do it for free. If you do it for free, somebody else is going to come behind you and charge a crazy arm and a leg for it just because they charged for it and you didn't. This is going to put into... I will actually donate some of these things to charity. Not the entire amount, but probably 10% of anything. So 10% of the 180, you're going to be looking at $18. I would donate to a charity. Primarily, I would love to donate to St. Jude's Hospital because I love what they do for the kids. Children's Hospital of Atlanta. and also the the 22-day challenge representation for the soldiers that are likely to commit suicide. So we do not want that to happen. Our soldiers should not feel any kind of negative feat in their own country that they went and fought for, especially ones with PTSD and things like that. That is not something that you want to have on your chest. And as a country, it's very interesting that so many people are a certain way towards our veterans and military, and yet they're the ones that help provide comfort. Is our government crooked or wrong? That doesn't matter. The people that are going to put their lives on the line to try to make a steady paycheck for their families, so their families are taken care of, are getting screwed, and it's not okay. Because they get back here, they still have to jump through hoops to get a house. They have to find a job that certain companies are having to make specific, hey, we hire veterans. That shouldn't be the case. They should not be compared to anybody. And because they went and fought for the country, I feel like they should have a nice, not just give them a job, but give them an interview. Don't just exclude them because they fought for the country. Now, certain ones that have maybe psychological issues, that's a whole other story. But that's the point of the charity, is to help those gentlemen, men and women, to not want to commit suicide. I know it's completely off topic, but it's just something I feel strongly about. And I know a lot of people in the military, and I don't want to think of any of them doing that to themselves after putting so much up. And that's one thing that happens, is they get spit on coming back to our country. This is the United States of America, freedom of speech, etc. Yeah, we understand. And a lot of military will tell you, depending on what their personal belief is, that that's what they fought for the right for you to spit on them. Now, when it becomes physical, that's a little different. But to say, oh, you're fighting, you're killing people, and you're doing this and that and the other, that's the right that you have that they're fighting for. Now, some will say, hey, screw that, you're disrespecting my country, my flag, etc., and that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get off topic too far. Anyway, back to this. $180 for the 1 hour session, $250 for the 2 hour session. This is South Atlanta only in Georgia. And for just the training materials that will be available, like I said, none of this is available until November this year, 2018. And I will have the worksheets and the ebooks ready. Ebooks obviously will be emailed to you. That's a lot of paper. If you want a paper copy, probably have to charge 10 or 15 bucks extra for that, just for paper and ink. So keep that in mind. And these prices will pretty much stay firm. I may do, something for Christmas or something like that. But again, 10% of either one of these, and even the 70 for the materials themselves, will go to one of those three charities. And I can do it online, screenshot it, take a picture so you can actually see that it's going to the charity. I'm not just saying that because a lot of people do that. But 10%, that's $18 of that entire amount that you're donating. And you're helping me out by giving me more power and more capital to be able to get better training materials, make more videos more consistently, and things like that. Because I want to help you, and if $180 or $250 hurts you, then you might not be ready to trade. How much do you need to start trading? It depends on what you want to do. Small accounts, trading penny stocks and things like that, I mean, you can get away with 50 or $100. And then slowly build it up. But I learned this a couple years ago. The more capital you have to put up, the more profit you will make. Now, granted, you want to know your position before you get in it, and you want to know where you're going to cash out when you get in it. You want to, my rules I mentioned earlier, I like anything 20% or better. If I get to the 40, 50, 60% range, amazing. I love it. But 20% is my flat line. I like to, if I called it settling, 20% would be my settle rate. Now, if I feel like something is about to dive off the cliff and I bought it at a 15 or 20%, baseline, and then it jumps up to that 15 or 20%, I'll be happy to sell it and take that profit and scalp it. But in the event that it starts to dive back down, I don't just want to break even, but you have to watch some things like cryptocurrency, and we can learn about that too. Cryptocurrency is extremely volatile, and to where there were moments when I had only $123 in Dogecoin that's still popping off right now. I bought $123 worth, cashed out at $173. But in the midst, I rebought, and then I have 35,000 coins on Robinhood, and my profit was at I was at $250 something, so I'm at a total of like $80 something profit. I should have cashed out, But I avoided my rule because speculation, September 5th was supposed to be a huge thing for Doge and Ethereum coming together. But the Ethereum price has really went through the bottom. It went all the way down to like 160 something. And then I think it stabilized back at about 180 now. But point being, if I would have been trading on fear, man, that thing did, man, you know what? Let me show you how dramatic this drop was with a bar chart. I mean, not a bar chart, a mountain chart here. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. It did this right here. So my money is consistent, big jump, and all of a sudden it did this. So, and then it did this, and then it did this again. Fortunately, I was sleeping both of these times. I don't know what I'm writing over here. I was sleeping both of these times because had I not been asleep, I may have thought, because this is a good 30-minute or 40-minute gap where this price just fell through the floor because of the big fish selling a lot or whatever, and it was ugly because it dropped me down from, it wasn't even, I think it was like $80 or $90 when it made those huge drops like that. But I knew that just on speculation alone it would stabilize, and a lot of people bought down here and it went back up. No big deal. I still sold it up here, walked away with my $173. That was my original $50 profit. As long as you are making profit, you are in the game. Just because you didn't make $10 million in your first week of trading doesn't mean anything. It's not a negative thing. So you'll hear guys talk about consistency, and you'll hear guys talk about scalping. Money. So you never want to buy here and sell here. Why? Well, that's just stupid. But also, if you buy here and sell here, you better have a real good reason to sell at such a loss, because this could be a penny and it could be $100. And now if the stock is tanking or whatever it is, for whatever reason, speculation will tell you that. If the company just filed bankruptcy, man, I watched the company go from, oh God, what was it? It was like 153 a share, and now it's like 30 cents. I think that's what it is. I'll find it and I'll put another video. But this happened in like, I don't know, a week. I mean, we're talking bankruptcy. If you own this right here and it went down here, you're extremely angry right now, and I'm very sorry. Or you were on the line and y'all sold off all the way down. I really hope so. $50 profit on $123 was what my original investment was, and I walked away with $173. So $50 profit on $120 is extremely good. That's about 37%, I think, roughly. Don't quote me on that. I could be slightly off. No worries, give or take. But yeah, so in the future, I'm going to try to make some more videos, stay consistent. If you watched this whole thing, thank you so much. I hope I was slightly entertaining. If not, it's okay. I don't mind. You know, I'm putting these videos here, and you know, I really hope for people to learn something. Let me go back to my primary portfolio here. Let's see what's happening. So like I said, Ford contracts are looking, you know, real nice right now, because I do feel strongly that Ford is about to hit a nice big jump again. Right now they're chilling, and I mean, so really quick example. Real quick example of a very small account per se. So I bought, let's see, I bought 84 shares of IMPX at average cost of 19 cents, and it's at 19.09 right now. That is 0.1909 cent. Currently, I'm at 4-cent profit, 0.26%. That's amazing. Cost me $15.99. I made 4 cents. But while ago, if the price spikes back to 27 cents like it was this morning, that's going to jump me up 5 cents per share times 83. It's a decent little return there. But that's just how it works. We're talking $15 that I put in this one stock. I did this the other day. Matter of fact, while I still got you all here, let me pull up real quick my history. And again, this is Robinhood because it's the fastest chart pattern I can read real quick. It's very simple. I don't have to go into 10 different places. So history. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find it for you. I did lots of canceling in here. All right, let's see. One moment. Let's see. Here we go. I bought, here you go. BPMX Biopharm X Limit Buy. I bought at $14.18, 76 shares. Okay, I turned around and sold it. That was at, give me the time. It does. This was on September 11th at 10:58 a.m. Now watch this. At 10:58 a.m., I bought 76 shares. That was just a measly 14 bucks I had in there, extra on, available in the account. I got a lot of other crap in there. So 76 shares at 0.1844 cent. I had a limit price at 0.1846. It actually bought at 18.44. That's wonderful because I put the price above what it was, and then it sucked it up at the best possible price. That is the great thing about limit orders. If I'd have put a market order, it might have bought it at 25 cents. I don't know. I turned around and sold it. Remember, that was 10.58. I sold the next morning at 27 cents, 77 shares. I don't know how did that happen? How did I get 76 and I got 77? Something's crazy. Cancel. Oh, I already had one share. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about that. So I had one share already that I bought. Where is it at? Rewalk. Hold on 1 minute. Let me find it. I had it for a hot minute. Yeah, September 5th. That's Dogecoin. Yeah, so the proof in the paper here is that I bought Dogecoin. Yeah, by September 5th, I bought that one share at 0.16 cent. I saw it hit 18. I knew it was about to hit a spike. But the let's see, where do we go? Dogecoin limit buy. We bought at bought it several times apparently. Oh, PathMed is a good one I like too. Hold on, where's my Dogecoin sale? Dogecoin limit buy. Okay, I bought 39.29 coins, 3,929.20. There's a couple over here. Bought. Oh, here you go. Dogecoin limit sale 123.84. Now that was my original profit, where I bought in. Let's see, 27, 36, so 30, so 8. Hold on 1 second. So 86. Okay, so I had 25,000 Dogecoin. I sold at $123, 0.0481. So I bought these other ones at a nice price. So I didn't realize how scattered this was. So 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, so $95 worth, roughly give or take $1. Sold it at 123. Turned around and put a little more money with it, and bought it at 173 total. That was 31,897. And then I turned around and sold it for the same thing, where I could have sold it for much more, and I had already profited on those earlier transactions because of the amount it was. Anyway, so yeah, just like I was saying with the BPMX, it was September 5th. I bought one share. I watched it. I monitored it. And what happened that morning of September 11th, I bought the additional BPMX at, let me find it real quick. Where'd it go? Dun, 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 dun. Again, sorry, this is a crappy video. I'm sorry. If you're watching, thank you so much. Here we go. There it is. So September 11th, that morning at 10:58, I bought 76 shares at 0.1844 at $14. $14 later turned into $20 at 77 shares. I sold the entire amount at 9:12 the very next morning. So you're talking 24 hours. I turned $14 into $20 at only 77 shares at 18 cents. Now imagine if that was $500 and you just made that return. So if I made $6 on $14, That's a very nice return. So if you calculate all that out, that's an extremely good profit. I don't have a calculator right here. Here we go. Yeah, let me see. So if we were to put 500 at 18 cent, we'll say, come on mouse, 18.4. That is 92 bucks for just 500 shares. All right, now let's say we did 500, say 5,000, 0.18. Too many. Okay, 500. So, okay, so we'll say 3,000 shares, give or take. That's roughly what it would have been. 18.4. So that would have been, yep, 550 bucks. Okay, so $550 for 3,000 shares. So let's say you turn around and sold those 3,000 shares at the 27 cent I sold them at, and this is what you're going to be. How many of you want to guess? You're going to put your $552 at $810 in 24 hours. You're talking, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's almost 40-something% return on what you made. So if you can't see the benefit in that, if you just had 500 bucks and you had this excellent inclination or intuition or tip or whatever, speculation that you decided to go off of and buy this stock at 18 cents. Like I said, I bought the one at 16 cents a week earlier. I watched it. When I saw it tag 18, I could see the uptrend coming. I looked at the bar chart and I looked at the line graph, and I could see clearly that it was at least going to hit about 20 cents. And I'm good with 2 cents if I got several hundred shares. I was just trying to play with my little money I had in there because the other one's tied up right now in options contracts. But if you could turn $550 into $810 in 24 hours, you cannot tell me that that's not an awesome return. Now, the thing you want to do is make it consistent. And the charts can tell you, and the line graphs can tell you with the fishhook pattern and several other patterns, but you have to follow the constants. You have to follow common sense, speculation, and all these other things. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. So, like I said, we're watching IMPX right now. It made a nice big dive. It rocketed up this morning. I should have sold it on the open at 27, but I was still holding it because I feel like it's going to do something else for me. 3-month chart. So if you're looking at just 3 months ago for IMPX, you're looking at 35, 36 cents. Now if you look at a year, so here's where it gets tough. So you're talking $13, $18 earlier last year, or end of last year, just in October. You're looking at $15.87 per share. And if you go a little beyond that, you go to the 5-year chart. Yeah, so this company is definitely going out of business, it looks like. So you're talking back in 2014, $5,000 a share. They must have done a reverse split. Battery's about to die. Sorry guys for the video too long and getting cut off like this. Thank you so much. Follow the link in the description for the Robinhood account. God bless. See you guys later.